And here we go, guys, in what could be the last game of the night. If this player right here, our red Zerg from TSL, is able to win it, it is RevivaL. And on the left side of the map, in the blue, playing Protoss from StarTale, an extremely good Protoss player. Their ace, but more of an ace than ace even, it's StarTale.Squirtle.
That's right. It's always so hard to say. You're like,
I know. Their other ace.
Yes. Not their literal ace. Their figurative
ace. Figurative ace.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what I'm going with. So
that works.
We'll see now what both players are going to offer here as Squirtle putting down his pylon up at the front. Interesting position, though, right next to the ramp. Most players will put it back here. This one is going to offer, two structures. We'll be able to completely wall this off then next to the destructible debris. So certainly good strategy for him. RevivaL, on the other hand, we've seen that he's able to pull off that 3-base no gas style, so we'll see if he ends up going with the same thing.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting. This map can be a little bit tricky to do 3 hatchery on. The third base is not terribly far out of the way compared to other maps, but it is a ways. I mean, you do have those destructible rocks to go through. It's not as bad as a map like Entombed Valley, but it can offer some challenges for Zerg if Protoss decides to go for some really aggressive 2-base play. So, we'll see. I mean, I'm sure RevivaL's going to go for 3 hatch, but then the question is, how aggressive is he going to be out of that? How soon is he going to start creating offensive units?
And didn't need any trickery like Hyun did to put down those hatcheries. So actually, wait a second, that was hatch first. He decided to go hatch first. That's why. I was like, oh yeah, Squirtle's not even going to block it. Well, that would be silly because usually you don't see a hatchery then. It's Pool coming up after this, and Squirtle himself looks like he wanted to go for a Nexus first, so he's not even going to be able to punish this.
Yeah, he's like, well, I mean, I guess if I had put on the Forge, I could have done something about it, but this has been something I've been kind of thinking about a lot lately, actually. I've even hatched first a couple times recently in my own ZVZ, or ZVP rather, and sometimes you can get away with it, but yeah, the other times you get a pylon behind your mineral line, and it's hard to deal with if you don't see it. So we'll see. I mean, this seems like a bit of a fake more than anything because there's no forge, it's just a gateway. So he obviously isn't going to be able to really use this pylon for anything, but he is going to be able to scare his opponent certainly a little bit, get him to pull some probes, or drones rather.
Right, and this probe is looks like he's going to get out of there, and eventually RevivaL realize this, but this is certainly doing 100 minerals worth of damage just pulling those drones off the line for so long. And it looks like RevivaL has kind of realized this, so he's like, well, okay, whatever. You're not actually going to put down a cannon.
Yep, and he's just going to go ahead and wait for those Zerglings to come out. There are 4 on the way right now. He knows that the probe is not really part of the picture anymore, so doesn't really need to worry about things too much. And the probe right now, waiting for that 3rd base to go down, may decide to try to cannon that as well. It's not something you see at the totally tip-top level of play, but it's out there. You do need to kind of be aware of it as a Zerg player.
And as we can see now, Cybernetics Core is coming up, but that, finally, a photon cannon started. This is exceptionally late for Squirtle, but of course he will be able to invest into his economy so well. RevivaL, though, would normally have a 3rd base up by this time, so looks like he's planning on something else. We'll see what that's going to be. It's actually a 4-queen build, or a 3-queen build for now.
Yep, you do usually get 3 queens pretty quick with this, but I'm a little bit surprised that he hasn't put down that 3rd hatchery just yet. That Zergling is scouting for the probe, and it does find it behind the mineral line right now, so that we'll be able to chase it away. And yeah, Squirtle's just probably not even going to drop a pylon. All right, so he's just going to let things go, and there's the Stargate. Okay, so he's going to be able to harass that 3rd base quite a bit if he chooses to do that.
That's what I was waiting for. I was like, we're either going to see quad gas or we're going to see another base here in a second. It is going to be quad gas or RevivaL.
Very interesting from RevivaL. I mean, he did have an Overlord above that, above the natural expansion of his opponent for the entire time, so he did see the gateway go down first, but this is an interesting choice by RevivaL. I wonder what we're going to see. I mean, I would have to imagine it's going to be Spire probably, unless he's going for some sort of really crazy Roach Ling all-in where he's going to just get the gas really quickly from 4 and then pull it off. But, honestly, if there's Stargate tech and it's only a couple Phoenixes out when the Mutas hit, could be a little bit rough for Squirtle, but there is the Void Ray as well. That's not going to help against Mutas either. And it all depends on what RevivaL does right now.
Yeah, this is very interesting. I mean, he's got a couple of outs here, and he's got quite a bit of money, or did have quite a bit of money saved up. But it looks like it just went all into his Zergling speed and Overlord as well. Right. So, or multiple Overlords and another Queen. So a total of 4 Queens out for 2 hatcheries. Imagine we'll see some sort of macro hatch if he wants to commit to this 2-base play for quite a while.
Yeah, well, he's got plenty of time to save up some gas, and and honestly, this is pretty rare. I haven't seen something like this done by a Zerg for a long time here, so I'm going to wager that he's going to go for Spire and then take a third behind that as he harasses with his mutas. Now, Squirtle is expecting there to be a third base already, and he's thinking, all right, your third base is going to be so late, you're not really going to have any queens there. I can harass it really well with this Void Ray, so he's going to be a little bit surprised when he gets here and sees that there is going to be no third, too. And, of course, with the number of queens that are out right now, he's not going to have an easy time doing damage to the existing bases, too. But there's +1 missile attacks, so no, it's going to be Infestation Pit. Interesting. Okay.
Two-base Infestor against
Very
Protoss.
different build. Yeah,
Yep.
very different build from Revival here.
And Squirtle, of course, going to be on 4-gate Robo with a Stargate initially, and we'll see if he wants to make big. Yeah, no kidding. He's like, oh well, there's no base there, is there? So this Phoenix is going to get a little bit better look around, see a good number of queens, see the Spore Crawlers coming up, and we'll be able to bounce out of there. But of course, not going to be able to assault that position very easily. Yeah,
and he had to have seen the Infestation Pit as well, I would imagine, too. So he kind of knows what he's up against. +1 weapons on the way. Robo Bay about ready to finish too, and Burrow being researched. This is crazy. I mean, this build from Revival is looking like a ZVP build from like last year. This is something that we haven't seen for a very, very long time, going for roaches with Burrow and Infestors as well. So this is actually a build that was really popular, especially in Code A. And I'm not kidding, it was about a year ago, actually. They would make a lot of Infestors, some roaches and lings, and then come up and drop a bunch of infested Terrans at the front and just try to knock down the wall. So yeah, he's actually going for like an old school Infestor bust, but he's putting down a third too. So kind of getting ready to try to macro out of this if it doesn't work. But when you go for this sort of attack here, this is a big deal, man.
I've got to admit, if I were Squirtle right now, though, I'd be feeling pretty happy. I mean, he's going to be on 6-gate Robo here in just a second with Robo Bay and Colossi, and Colossi shut down Infestor Ling. I mean, so we're going to see if he's going to be able to pull this off. Wow, a fully charged up Void Ray is just not being attacked either at all.
Well, there's a reason why we don't see the build that Revival is doing very often anymore, and the reason is just like you said. I mean, it's fairly easy for Protoss to shut this down, especially if they have Colossi out, and that hatchery is barely going to live. Wow. Can't believe that actually survived.
Oh, well, we didn't know Infestors were out before. Now he knows Infestors are out there now. It is taken out. He's going to need to transuse this a couple of times to let it naturally regen. As we can see, though, Squirtle is sitting on 3 bases. He did end up going through the destructible debris, and he's going to start putting a few gateways down there, make sure he stays extra safe. But he's investing in all the right things right now. He's got +2 attacks. He's got extended thermal lance. He's looking pretty good.
Yeah, you know, I guess Revival's not going for that early push that, you know, we used to see it as a different build. It looks like it kind of started out the same way, but the whole time, you know, I was kind of thinking, well, this is kind of a big map to do something like this. And, well, there's a lot of units coming down the side. Is he sending Infestors with this as well, or is that just Lings?
Yeah.
He is sending Infestors. Okay, so, yeah, prepare to see a lot of infested Terrans come out in the near future.
Okay, well, that's there is a good bit of energy on these Infestors.
Nice turning around.
We'll see. Yeah, looks like he's going to pull back. This thing ended up becoming a macro build, as we do have the Hive Tech coming out too. It's just, I got to admit, Revival. We saw how he played against against all 3 Protoss, Terran, and Zerg in the previous 3 games, and he looked great. So I don't want this game to take away anything from him, but this one is just so weird.
Yeah, it's a really bizarre way of playing. I mean, he's kind of thinking on his feet to a certain extent with this, starting off with the hatch first, kind of going into this 2-base Infestor play, thinking about attacking, and then not really going for it. And it looks like he is going for it again now, and he does have a little bit of a, well, no supply lead anymore after those Warpins, and Squirtle, you know, I mean, he's been able to detect with his observers that there will be something on the way. I mean, the observers can see the burrowed Infestors. There's no real secret from Squirtle right now about what's going on here, and he scouts that 4th base as well. So, yeah, Revival not really able to make that attack timing that he really wanted to.
So much money saved up as well. I mean, maybe we're going to see that Ultralisk Cavern here in a second.
I think we are, yeah.
Melee attacks on the way, and he'll eventually be able to put up a bunch of... it looks like he's just wants to max on Ultra, Ling, and Festers super quick.
Yep. It could work. I mean, this is kind of an alternative way to go about that really fast Broodlord tech that we've seen in the past. Now, if he could get a nice fungal on some of those Infestors, that would be, or not Infestors, Phoenixes rather, that would be just perfect. I mean, to be able to take away that scouting, take away the harassment potential. He doesn't want his Infestors to get lifted in the middle of combat either. So, Watch for him really trying to take that out.
Well, there is a mothership coming up now for Squirtle, and what a weird game we have on our hands.
No kidding, yeah.
As RevivaL, this Ultraless Cavern is going to be finished for him very quickly, and he should be able to put up a fair number of Ultras, 5 or 6 of them right away.
Yep, it's going to be quite a few. He's got Neural Parasite on the way as well. And here's the thing, I mean, if those Phoenixes can stay alive and then be a factor in the fight that's coming up here, he can lift up a lot of those Infestors, kind of take away a lot of the effectiveness of the fungal growth of Neural Parasite. So it's really going to come down to these Phoenixes, and he has to be careful. He does not want to get these fungled right now.
And he actually did lose one of the Phoenixes.
Yeah, he did.
It hasn't done any economic damage either. Oh, it looks like he was trying to draw forces away because he wants to take out the hatchery. Now the Zealots are starting to get pretty low, but the hatchery's incredibly low.
He's got it.
Oh, and
Wow.
just barely goes down.
Yeah, I mean, it's still 3 bases for RevivaL, but that does hurt. I mean, you do definitely want that 4th base to survive in this case. 7 Ultralisks on the way right now, 2-2 as well. I would have to imagine that RevivaL probably wants to move out when 2-2 is going to be about finishing. Oh, and is he going to fungal? Is he going to fungal? He gets it.
And we just saw a 15-minute Ultralisk max. That is exactly what just happened. What a crazy way to go about things.
Yeah, I've seen this in the past, too, but it's just been a very, very long time. That 5th base as well being researched there, or not researched, being morphed, and there are going to be more Zealots coming out to try to deny that, but I don't know if RevivaL's even going to care. He looks like he's ready to push.
Wow, okay, so crazy stuff. He does have that Spire coming up as well. In about 100 seconds, he'll be able to put up his greater Spire. This hatchery's going to get canceled. He can't produce anything to send it over there to help.
Instead.
He would have to run forces back, but as we can see, 19 Banelings are coming up.
Yep, Banelings too. So Ling Ultra Infestor Baneling coming out for TSL.RevivaL. He's going to go after that 4th base, it looks like.
Yeah, as there's not a lot there for Squirtle yet to defend, but there is a pretty good force off just to the side. Is he just going to go down to the 3rd? Looks like he's thinking about it. No, then tears away and starts going to the 4th.
Yep, I mean, I don't think he realized it was there at first, but now that he knows it's there, he knows this one will be easy to deny, and then he can see what he can do about the 3rd as well. Baneling's there for moral support at this point, doesn't want to attack with those.
And 1 infested Terran getting popped out there for the Observer. 2 bases have gone down to these Zealots, though. That's proven to be really, really effective.
This is getting dangerous. Here he comes. Oh, great Vortex, but will he really be able to use it? I mean, he doesn't have any Archons in there or anything like that, I think. So those are going to pop out again in just a moment. Oh, did he just force field all over that?
No, he just fungled out a lot of units that were trying to get inside of the Vortex, which was really, really cool. And he Neural Parasites a couple of the Archons as well.
Very nice.
Is it going to be enough? The Mothership is taken over at the same time. So once again, for the 2nd time in the set, we have Cloaked Ultralisks.
That's right. I can't remember the last time I've casted a series with 2 games with Cloaked Ultralisks. I don't think that's ever happened before. And here we go, another Neural on the Archon. Turning against our opponents, and the Neural Colossi. Great Infestor usage by RevivaL, taking a pretty big supply lead right now.
Yes, he is, but he's got to start killing some bases. Squirtle killed 2 bases. Don't forget that. These have both gone down, and now because of the tech choices of RevivaL, he is putting up 8 more Infestors, but it's all going to be Lings. And I got to tell you, Colossus, Archon, Templar with Storm, and Mothership, it rips through Lings.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, it was really cool to see, and he did do some damage, but he didn't really kill a lot of those high-tech units. Oh, man, but the Lings run right into the main and natural. That's going to be a bit annoying. The Zealots are going to be able to clean up the ones in the main, but a lot of dead probes at that natural expansion.
Yeah, a lot of probes have gone down. Looks like they're trying to
take
out a gateway. He got it.
He got that gateway.
Well done. He does deny another base. That's actually
nice.
really important down there.
That does help. And more Lings running into the 3rd. Lots of counterattacking being done by our Zerg player right now.
Well, this is a ridiculous game. More workers are about to fall. 21 workers have been killed so far, but all of these are going to get torn up by the Archons once again. Yeah, so Burrow Links pretty much everywhere, but look at this. Another base has gone down once again due to these Zealot drops.
You know, I just don't feel that RevivaL's doing enough damage with this, too. I mean, he could still certainly win, but that's a lot of larvae that's been used on all these Ling run-bys for a relatively minimal impact. The good news is that he was able to burrow so many of those that they can pop out later. It kind of scares Squirtle from coming back here, and it looks like he will be able to pick off a few more probes here, picking off the ones in gas first, but the Zealots will be able to deny that.
Yeah, but still, a few more workers killed there, so that's certainly nice. But of course, now RevivaL just needs gas income badly.
Yeah, no kidding.
As we can see, looks like he finally did finish up another base. Needs to turn those drones around. Will not. And let's take a look here at the units tab. So 3 Ultras 8 Infestors, 47 Lings. That's a standing army for Revival. 6 Archons, 2 Colossi, a Mothership, 16 Zealots, basically the force on the field for Squirtle.
Yeah, the army for Protoss is looking quite a bit more scary. Nice football formation by the Overlords there.
Yeah, no kidding.
About ready to try to break into the end zone, it looks like.
Spire's up, but not Greater Spire, which is a little curious. He could at least make some Corruptors to help along with his army as well, but has decided to expend all of his gas into Ultralisks. He has 4 more just about to pop up. That'll be quite a few. That's still a huge investment.
Yeah, he's going to need to have some pretty great fungals, and I'm a little bit surprised about the choice to go for Banelings, as nothing really in that composition is very vulnerable to Banelings. Even Zealots have so many hit points that Banelings actually don't do all that well against them. So a little bit of a surprising choice there. We do have Greater Spire on the way now,
there
so
we go.
More or less a defensive force coming out for a Zerg player. Is going to have to attack a little bit later to free up some supply, but you know, overall, I feel like Protoss is a little bit stronger. It's going to require some really excellent control from Revival to be able to take on an army like this.
Yeah, this Mothership has been around forever. This was actually created, what, about like the 15, 16-minute mark in this game? So
yeah, it's pretty long-lived.
Yeah, well, this is going to be quite the engagement here.
Oh,
Looks
here
like
we
Revival wants
go.
to take this head on. He's going to move in right away. The Zerglings up at the front getting destroyed very, very quickly. Neural Parasites hitting quite a few more units. Oh, the Vortex hits before he's able to Neural Parasite, and the Archons are going to jump inside as well.
Yes, they are, and that is a lot of Archons. I've got a feeling Revival's in a bit of trouble here.
Everything going to pop out of the
be a lot of
Vortex
damage.
in a second. Oh, God.
Oh, the Mothership's going to deny our view of the action. Here we go. The Ultra's popping out outside of the Archons in the best possible spot. But
wow.
still,
They got
the
slaughtered.
damage.
That was just awful. I mean, the very definition of terrible, terrible damage there.
No kidding. Well, that, I think, we can qualify as a game-ending fight. I don't think Revival's going to be able to come back and take on this army now. He's got a lot of Lings, but yeah, he's just going to run right past. He's not even going to bother fighting it because he knows he can't. This is pretty dire for our TSL Zerg player.
Yeah, Squirtle doing a pretty good job here, and it looks like these Archons are going to be able to dispatch those Lings pretty quickly. Oh, yeah. And at the same time, bases are going to start falling for Revival.
That's right. I mean, I think those are 3/3 Archons, aren't they? Yeah, 3 attack, 2 armor, so they're really, really, really powerful. Do a ton of damage to biological.
Yeah, obviously armor doesn't matter as much for Archons as shields, so that 3 attacks is what you're really looking for, and it's there. 47 damage each shot with a splash.
Yeah, that is going to be about it. 100 supply lead now for Squirtle. Great play there. I mean, I feel like, the recall over to the 3rd base even. To rather the 4th base. I don't know where they went. GG, doesn't matter.
Yep, that's it. So there we go. StarTale starting to bring things back. Squirtle